All right, as Nigeria's president settles into his duties and Nigerians in turn settle down to their new president, the feeling of euphoria is yet to die down in many camps. And while the ovation remains loud for a man whose stellar performance as governor of Lagos State remains a point of reference, a student of the Lagos State University, with the support of the institution, has unveiled the bust of President Bola Tinubu at the Faculty of Education. The image of the president stands in a beautiful reserved area and is flanked on both sides with the image of an eagle and several lions around about it. Now, joining us in the studio to talk about this inspiration for this art and piece of art of work is we have the former president, LASU, the Lagos State University, Adetimiri Olamilekon. Did I get the name correct? Adetimiri?
Exactly, sir. You too.
Good, good. I'm learning Yoruba gradually.
Right, exactly.
But you're dressed like Ashiwaju already. I like your cap and your glasses. Really amazing.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Now, talk to us about this piece of art that you have made. First of all, were you a student of fine art and creative art? Is that the department you come from?
No, that's not my department.
Okay.
I studied English education.
English?
Yes, sir.
So how are you able to come up with the bust that you made, a portrait that you made?
Actually, it started when the distinguished president was actually honored and stated by the chief of staff to be distinguished Honorable Femi Gbadabiamila, when he said the eagle has landed. And the world of the greatest and accomplished world leaders like Right Honorable Femi Gbadabiamila should not just be, we as a student of knowledge, we need to look at how well we can actually immortalize that word of his in honor of Ashiwaju. Because to start with, in history of this nation, Ashiwaju, when he was the governor of Lagos State, he was the first to start paying the tuition, WAEC fees and NECO of students in Nigeria. If Ashiwaju has not actually done that, many students will not be able to be where they are today. And indeed, he also started the first a-day governor to actually celebrate and to actually let the students know what governance is all about.
And inspire them, young people.
Yes, sir. And also, if we claim we are educated or we are a schooled individual and we hate politics, it's not quite good. Because what Ashiwaju has actually did to us there is that the schooled individuals should actually be involved. The scholarly people should actually stand to actually make sure that this nation is where it's supposed to be. And also, the president actually is the father of modern democracy in Nigeria. The history of Nigeria will never be completed without mentioning his grace-worthy effort to actually stabilize democracy in this nation. So we, the students, look at it that it will be good that Ashiwaju actually build Lagos State to where it is today. For instance, the idea of Lagos State, 418 billion, is more than the whole idea of the northern Nigeria. The idea of Lagos State is more than the whole idea of the south-south and the southeast. So if, as a governor, he can actually put this state to where it is today, and there was actually a purpose for it, is for us to show our gratitude that indeed we believe in his presidency. And our message to the world is that United States of America, Russia, the great nation should be ready. Because as Ashiwaju is now the president of this nation, they should be ready to actually see better things. And as he said, renewed hope. People should not lose that hope. Because Ashiwaju is ready to actually move this country to, in fact, a level that we cannot even imagine now.
All right. Let's narrow it down to what you have done. I believe that people would, because showing it on TV, people would like to know the significance and the symbolism and all of that. I know Kemi has a question, so let me allow her to ask you a question before I come back to some of the questions I have.
Thanks, Mike. I was getting to that too now. So creating this piece of art now, and I could, from what you said previously, I could hear you using, we, us, and all that. So tell us about this project, how you and your team, chose to, celebrate the legacy or the works or the personality of Bola Tinubu through this work that you created.
Okay. This project symbolizes Asiwaju as the eagle of Nigeria politics. This project, the statue, we have a hand that actually pointed to his head. Mm-hmm. It actually symbolizes his great thinking beyond imagination that God has actually blessed him with. This project actually, we've been on this project for the past 3 years because it's not quite easy for us as a student to actually do or accomplish the project. We spend a lot of millions of naira because it's very difficult for us. Even as I'm yet to serve because of the project. Because it's because Asiwaju actually deserves our honor as a student. So if he, as a president, as a governor then, could actually sacrifice that actually brought many students to be great in Nigeria. So why can't we also sacrifice our own ways to make sure that in history, because this project will be there forever.
Yeah,
so,
but make us understand, how has this prevented you from serving? That's the question.
Because we've not actually opened the project. So until His Excellency, the President, actually officiates the project.
Okay, so it is your choice not to serve yet until that is done.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we need to put it in context.
Yes, it is my choice.
Okay.
Yes, because I actually see that for greater things, there must be a sacrifice. So if actually we just do it and we leave it like that, so we need to actually let him know about the honor. So and let him, in fact, I'm done with my schooling now, it's over a year. So, and to accomplish this project, it's not quite easy. Very, very, very difficult because it's worth millions of naira. So thank God that we were encouraged by Kushenla III, Elegushi of Ikate Kingdom, when he actually heard about the whole struggle, that you've suffered this much to honor the president. Why do you actually do that? It's because there are many people today that if other states, they are really performing as well as Asiwaju has done to Lagos State. Lagos State would have been even, Lagos State accommodates millions of citizens from other states in Nigeria daily.
Yeah, but how did you go about raising the funds? Because you talked about the fact that this cost a lot of millions and all of that. How did you go about raising the funds for it?
Actually, I have to actually speak to family friends to actually talk with them. The reason for us to be able to accomplish the project, and they are well aware about the president doings in the nation. So, and they also key into the project.
You also, said, if I understand you well, that you want the president to personally come and commission this. Is that what you meant?
Yes, because this project, we want him to actually come to open the project, because in history of Federal Republic of Nigeria, this is the first of its kind. No president in history of Nigeria has ever been honored by the student and to be immortalized as the eagle of Nigeria politics. So this is the first of its kind, and we are using this to show our solidarity to him, that indeed we appreciate his effort and what he's going to do for Nigeria.
All right, and I believe you've reached out, work has started in this regard?
Work have started. We've actually wrote a letter to him. So when we are done with the project, we sent a letter. And when we are actually, when we also wish to open it, we also send a letter to him. But we are still expecting his response.
So in this regard, when you say we, the students and all of that, are you doing that, inviting him on behalf of the student union government, or on behalf of the LASU that you had represented at a time, or on behalf of NANS, or in your own capacity as Adetimiri?
I am inviting him on behalf of millions of students. He actually raised to be great people today, because millions of them now, they are actually very okay for the great effort he has done. So I'm inviting him on behalf of his over 30 years effort for the student. So we humbly wish His Excellency the President actually acknowledge the first of its kind in history of this nation.
So this portrait that you have, or the bust that you have made, what material is that? Is that clay, or is that metal, or bronze, or what is it made of?
It's actually made of fiberglass.
Fiberglass?
Exactly, sir.
So speak to the decision to use this. Is this like, the way to go? Is this like the future? I'm talking about the kind of ingredients and the materials that you use to is it made to last more than the regular materials that one would use for a bust, or is this the basic material being used for all kinds of busts?
These materials we've used here is actually the most expensive materials to use. And these materials here will last for years. So because it's actually an immortalization. So as we have the Tinubu Square at TBS. So this project will be a center for students, because his achievement will actually be engraved beside the project. So this project will actually be stated as actually an historical one for students 30 years, 100 years to come to this time, to actually come around, to actually read about this great leader of ours. So it's actually a symbol for students to actually see the reasons we really need to actually key into the government of His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Tinubu GCF.
All right, talk to us about how the school supported you through this entire period.
First is the distinguished Vice Chancellor, Professor Ebiyemi Olatunji Bello. She is actually a visionary Vice Chancellor. Without her approval, we wouldn't be able to actually do this project. So she was very much happy, because she wanted LASU to be the best in West Africa. And she's actually working towards that. So, and I'm sure we are really supported by the Vice Chancellor, because if the land is not approved, the students cannot do the project. So the space was actually approved, and where it was actually situated, it was situated in a strategic place in the university, that everybody that wants to enter the university will be a welcoming note. So Asiwaju will be a welcoming note to Lagos State University. And if they actually seek the reason Asiwaju become a welcoming note to Lagos State University, we could actually trace it to the grace of our Vice Chancellor for approving the strategic space for us to be able to put the project. All
right. In this case, how is the school also, because you said you had written a letter to the president in that regard, how is the school assisting you to access him? Because if he's coming, let's assume that he has agreed to come launch the program or unveil the portrait or the bust. Of course, he won't just come to unveil that and leave. It will be an opportunity to access the school, support the school, and look at what is going on in the entire school. So how is the school supporting you in the area of accessing the president?
The school has been supporting, but actually due to a lot of things for us to do, it's actually a student union work, so we couldn't actually disturb the school Vice Chancellor their program. But one thing I believe is that if it will take 10 years for Asiwaju to officiate this project, I'm not going to serve. I'm going to wait for him. If it will take 20 years, I'm going to wait for him and to show the solidarity that indeed we appreciate his doings, and he is the ego of Nigeria politics.
Let's hope it won't take that long. 10 years, having to wait for that long. I hope it won't have to be that long. But then, okay, so with this Tinubu presidency, speak to us about, your expectations. What is most paramount for you, in Nigeria that you want to see addressed?
One thing is, as I am, one thing I am blessed with as an individual is governance. So I believe that if we expect our desired nation to be created, then we all need to be involved. And Asiwaju is actually a father of the youth, and he is indeed our own father. So what I expect is that the youth should actually come together to look in a way to support His Excellency. Because I believe the current situation in the country whereby we actually put a lot of pressure on the government, I believe we should put a lot of pressure on ourselves also. That not what we can get from the government, what also can we give, what can we deliver? So what can we actually do to progress this nation, to actually be where it's supposed to be?
All right. We have to leave it here now. Aditimiri Olamilekan, thank you so much for what you're doing. And that, I believe, will also inspire so many young people to make contributions to changing their immediate environment wherever they find themselves. Thank you very much for what you're doing.
Thank you, sir.
Keep it up.